Oh, oh. Yeah. So, Fire and Ash is coming out at the end of the year. It's funny because I've only seen like a couple of snippets here and there. I don't like watching the trailer for this one. It's because typically trailers spoils a lot of the movie, and I didn't really do that with Way of Water, so I'm glad I did it. And I really, really liked Way of Water. I think it looks great. The movie is great, and as a person that just became a father when Way of Water came out, it hit a lot harder than it needed to, and I like the second movie a lot better than the first. But from the drinkers is the Avatar paradox, why nobody talks about these movies. And I think I know why, but let's see what he has to say.
Fast food. A quick and convenient source of calories to get you through the day. You buy it, you eat it, and you move on with your life without wasting too much time thinking about what you just put into your body. Which is probably
like
for
a
the
penis,
best, if I'm honest. In fact, the average American adult consumes 3 fast food meals per week. 37% of them eat it on a daily basis, and in 2023 alone, this sector was estimated to be worth almost $370 billion.
Hell
Pretty
yeah.
much everyone can recognize the logos and the color schemes.
The crazy thing is that I always complain about Five Guys burgers, like how it's so expensive, how the burger is good, it tastes really good, the ingredients are really, really fresh, the fries are really good, it's cooked with peanut oil, and I say it's super fucking expensive. I went to Burger King like 2 years ago, and I got a Whopper meal, and it was like $18. I'm like, bitch, I could have just gone to In-N-Out. I could gone to Five Guys. You know what? I might have been a little too harsh on Five Guys. I think I would like some Five Guys now. I think, unfortunately, the closest Five Guys to my house was closed down, so I have to go to another one that's about half a mile further. But yeah, man, yeah, it's $18 or $20 at like McDonald's, man, in order for you to get full. It's so expensive now.
And the signature food items for all the big chains. And when you really think about it, fast food actually represents a pretty big part of our culture. But ironically, it contributes almost nothing to it. Well, apart from obesity, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes.
He's out of line, but he's right.
I mention all of this because the other day I was looking through the list of upcoming movie releases for the holiday season, and I was struck by a sudden realization. Oh yeah, there's another Avatar movie on the way. Great.
Like I said, I'm one of those people that don't hate Avatar. Now, I don't think that Avatar is a fucking masterpiece. I know why Avatar 1 was such a huge hit. It's because it was like the first 3D IMAX movie. It was huge. It was like technically groundbreaking. It looked really, really good. And I know a lot of people who did really, really like it, like literally wanted to live in a place like Pandora. Now, for me, I'm like, okay, cool. It's another like Dances with Wolves, Fern Gully, Pocahontas, Dances with Smurfs kind of movie, right? Fish out of water, and you sort of breed with the natives, and you have a tree sex and stuff like that, right? I get it. The second movie, on the other hand, is a lot better, especially with the family dynamics. And I, after watching the second movie, am excited for the third movie.
Fuck.
And not just on the way either. It's almost here, in fact. We're barely a month out from the release of what could be one of the biggest movies of all time. Adjusted for inflation, the first Avatar movie brought in more than $4 billion at the...
Exactly. $4 billion. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of Chinese people like... Here's the thing. This is a movie about furries. Furry creatures. You become a furry creature. You become like fucking 8 feet tall, 10 feet tall, and you have tree sex of your ponytail. This is literally furry stuff. I wish I had bigger ass and bigger tits though.
Global box office, and the sequel was the third highest grossing movie of all time. But here's the funny thing, no one seems to give a shit. There's no anticipation, no fan theories and speculation, no rumours or news coverage hyping the film up. Nobody's buzzing about the return of beloved characters or worried about which ones might survive the next movie. Nobody's putting out...
The thing is that this movie was announced to have 5 total movies. So after this third one, we'll have 2 more. All right? You have 2 more freaking movies after this. All right, so the story is not done. It's not hyped. We all know we're basically going to the movie theaters knowing what we're going to be seeing. We're like, all right, we're going to go to the movie theaters. I know what this is. This is a freaking crazy 3D spectacle. The movie's going to look brilliant. It's going to look fucking amazing CGI. It looks so fucking real and shit like that. It's going to look great, but the story is going to be very, very simple. This is literally like protect the forest, protect the ocean, protect my penis and stuff like that. It's literally like, what's protect space and then protect my asshole in the last one. I don't know what it is. All right. People are going to go watch the movie because it's a James Cameron Avatar movie. It's going to make a lot of money. And they come out and it's like, oh yeah, I enjoyed that movie. But why did it make so much fucking money? That's crazy. Right. But we do know why. Because of China. All right. It is about China. It is about furry culture and stuff like that. I don't know what it is, but people are like it's that people are like, oh my god, I can't wait to watch The Odyssey, or I can't wait to watch this. It's like it doesn't have that type of hype, right? Because James Cameron is not known for his stories. He's known for spectacles. He's known for his innovative techniques on how he's a filmmaker, right? He's not there for, oh, I'm gonna tell a fucking crazy story. It's gonna be really, really good, like Chris Nolan. It's not gonna be like that.
Lore videos and theories about the mysteries of Pandora and where this epic adventure might be heading next. For a franchise that now includes 2 of the biggest movies of all time and is probably about to add a 3rd one to the list because let's be honest, you know that people are going to flock to see this one, the Avatar franchise is weirdly culturally inert. And when I think back to the previous 2 films, it was pretty much the same story. Everyone went to see them, but nobody had anything to say about them afterwards. In fact, most people couldn't even seem to remember them beyond a vague declaration that the visuals were amazing.
Yep.
Somehow, despite their massive financial success, they've managed to make absolutely no impact on popular culture. Instead of leaving behind a cultural footprint, they're more like a cultural smokescreen that...
Now here's the thing. Like, another big example of how impactful the culture is of your movie, it's like, if you think about it, you can't really cosplay the characters, right? Have you guys ever gone to like a convention and someone cosplay as a Na'vi? No. Right? It's like, maybe there's a person that would do it, right? But like, typically, no. You don't see people cosplaying that shit. You don't see people wearing that shit for Halloween and stuff like that. Like, if it's not that culturally impactful, people just go to watch it because it's sort of like watching a Michael Bay movie, right? You go there, you're not gonna go there and watch it for the fucking story and character development. You go there to watch fucking stuff blow up. Nobody's gonna be dressed up as Jake Sully, right? Or Neytiri. No one's gonna be dressed up as any of those characters for Halloween. Yeah, you're gonna walk around with a fucking dick cloth? No.
Obscures everything for a few minutes, then gets blown away by the next stiff breeze. Nobody ever speaks of Miles Quaritch with the same hushed reverence as Darth Vader, Lord Voldemort, or the Terminator. Nobody mentions Jake Sully when they think of
you think Starkey Jake DM that to me.
other famous movie heroes like Luke Skywalker, Ellen Ripley, or
Jake
Indiana
Sully.
Jones. Nobody places Avatar's epic battle scenes in the same league as Return of the Jedi, Saving Private Ryan, or Lord of the Rings. It's not a problem that's unique to this franchise by any stretch. Shit man, The Rock's entire career was basically built on this stuff. But since the Avatar movies are probably the most extreme example, I'm henceforth going to dub this the Avatar Paradox.
Yes.
So why does it happen? How can movies that are so big and successful have so little lasting impact? Well, maybe it's time we find out. And just to be clear, I'm not making a let's shit on the Avatar franchise kind of video. I'm doing this because I actually think this is an interesting cultural phenomenon that says a lot about the state of modern filmmaking, and I want to try to understand it a little better. So, let us see if we can unravel the Avatar Paradox together, shall we? Part 1. Effort.
There we go.
Well, one thing I can't accuse these movies of is lack of effort. James Cameron's a notoriously committed, hard-driving director who puts 100% into everything he does and expects the same of everyone around him, often to the detriment of his cast and crew. But looking at the behind-the-scenes footage and all the interviews with everyone involved, you can tell that they really worked hard to produce the best technically made film that they could.
100%. So I have a good friend. His name is Ray, and he used to do costuming and production set designing for the Avatar films. Right, he worked really close with what's it called again, Lightstorm, and he worked really closely with the crew and James Cameron. He said that in Manhattan Beach, down here in Southern California, James Cameron and his crew bought out a 3-story building and basically made a 3-story pool. Right? They basically turned that entire building. They put a 3-story pool in there so the divers can dive into the water without making bubbles, right? Because the film needs to be filmed underwater. And they said that the reason why they did that is because the water in Pandora is different from the water on Earth. And he was very, very specific in it. And he also told me that Sigourney Weaver was a fucking bitch to work with, okay? Sigourney Weaver was a very, very hard person to work with. It's because she was complaining on set that she had to, because her face and her actual face, he said her face is iconic, right? He said, my face is iconic. And if my body is going to be inserted into a Na'vi, I was like, what? I was like, yeah, Sigourney Weaver actually comes back in Avatar 2 and her body is going to be in a young Na'vi's body. And he told me this back in 2018. He told me this in 2017, 2018, okay? So me and him during that time, we both worked at Fox. So he, you know, like for me, like we had the sort of like mutual agreement for the NDA stuff, right? So I was like, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, that's sort of weird. And I was like, she falls in love with a human boy. I was like, how does that work? So the thing is that she wanted to have her Na'vi character to be really fucking tall and look like her. And James Cameron said, no, we can't do that. It's because your character's supposed to be a little girl. But they're like, but how would they know it's me? I was like, bitch, your voice is iconic. You're fucking Sigourney Weaver. People know you by your voice. And he's like, well, can you at least make my Na'vi look really, really like me? And that's the reason why the Na'vi, like out of most Na'vis, her Na'vi looks most like Sigourney Weaver. And I shit you not, my friend Ray was like, man, she was awful on set. Because she's like a drama queen and stuff like that. Because she's Sigourney Weaver. She can be. But you're talking to James Cameron here. All right? James Cameron don't give a fuck who you are. All right? So it's like, no, we're not. The most we're going to do in the VFX department at Lightstorm is going to make your character look as much as you as possible. We're going to put as much detail in your face as possible. But we're not going to make you fucking like how your height, right? Sigourney Weaver is like, what, 5'10" or something? We're not going to make you a fucking tall person, right? It's because you're supposed to be a little, like a young woman. You're supposed to be like a teenager Na'vi that falls in love with Spider. All right? So that's how it should be. And then she was like, oh, I guess. Oh my God. And she fucking starts smoking on set. I was like, so she's a bad person? She's like, she's Sigourney Weaver. So she has that right, right? It's because she's insanely famous. She's well known for everything, right? She worked with James Cameron on Aliens. It's not like they don't know each other, but like it's like, hey, I'm your friend. We've worked with each other. We've known each other for like almost fucking 40 years now, right? So you gotta work with me here, man, Sigourney. And she's like, all right. So yeah, it's just like I 100% agree with Drinker here. And when James Cameron is actually directing something, he goes like 150%. He literally goes like legit, like I'm gonna make this movie as badass as possible, right? And that's the fact that we never got anything Terminator after T2 fucking sucks. Like, oh, he's an executive producer and stuff like, oh yeah, he's executive producer of Terminator Dark Fate. Nah, that means he doesn't really fucking care about it, okay? He doesn't really fucking care about it at all. Right, so now that he's working on this, he has fucking 2 more other movies after this shit. We're never gonna fucking have it finished, man. Like he needs to survive into his 80s.
Everyone seems to be giving it their all. The actors were genuinely put through the mill on this one, and Cameron's clearly pushing them to deliver on his creative vision. Shit, man, the guy's been working on this series for almost 20 years at this point. It's practically a lifetime obsession for him, and considering he's now 71 years old and there's like 3 more of these things on the way, it's likely to carry him through to the very end of his career.
See, look, this is Sigourney Weaver's Na'vi character. Look at her nose compared to Jake Sully's nose. Like Jake Sully's nose is very wide, right? And same thing with what's it called again? Neytiri's is very, very wide. They sort of look similar, but if you look at Sigourney Weaver's version of it, it looks a lot like her. It's because of Sigourney Weaver's constant bitching on set. All right. And this is, like I said, my friend worked with them very, very closely. He worked on most of the second film, and he worked a little bit on the third film. Just a little bit. Like, he did some pre-production costuming stuff, but he worked primarily on the second film the most.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
And don't get me wrong, I absolutely respect a man with a passion for his craft. The thing is, all that effort doesn't necessarily translate into what you see on screen in this case, because what you see on screen is like 95% CGI fakery with all the baggage that comes along with it. People just aren't impressed or captivated by that kind of thing anymore, because—
See, like, you saw, like, Jake Sully, I'm gonna back out, like, look at Jake Sully's nose. It's fucking massive. It's fucking this. Right? It's literally like a fucking rectangle versus Sigourney Weaver's. It's like very slim and slender. And if you compare that to Neytiri's, it's the same thing, right? It's really big and chunky.
It comes along with it. People just aren't impressed or captivated by that kind of thing anymore because they've seen it a million times before in a million other movies and video games.
Yeah, and I agree with Drinker 100%. Like, whenever someone says, oh my God, the graphics look so good, I'm like, bitch, I don't fucking care. Is the gameplay good and is the story good? Right? I've seen very, very good graphics like fucking 20 years ago. All right? Whenever fucking like the fucking Warlords of Draenor or fucking like Warcraft 3 like cinematics came out, Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne, Arthur's versus fucking Illidan, like that shit was fucking peak cinema. All right? I've seen legit good CGI already, all right? So basically whatever comes out, it's like, oh, I've seen this before. Right? I've seen great CGI. Is the story good? If the story is mid, everything else is good, then it's like, the story is like, I guess it looks good, but it looks great, right? It's like what Drinker said. It looks great.
And well, it brings me on to my next points. Part 2, spectacle.
Exactly. I said, he's all about spectacle. It's exactly what I said.
You want to say about them? The Avatar films are definitely good-looking beasts. They're extremely technically accomplished movies, and you can see why the first one captivated everyone's attention back in 2009. James Cameron had always pushed the limits of filmmaking technology throughout his career. He did the same thing with Avatar, and well, the results speak for themselves. There had literally never been anything quite like that movie, and so people flocked.
The thing is that, like, it took so long for Avatar 2 to come out. Like, Avatar 2 needed to come out like at most 5 years later. But the movie came out in like 09. Yeah, it came out in 09 or something like that. Like, it was a fucking massive hit. Like, I didn't even fucking watch it in theaters and shit. Like, I downloaded that shit from fucking BitTorrent and shit. Right? Like, I didn't watch that shit in the theater. I'm like, man, this movie was pretty good. And my dad really, really liked it. Yeah, Avatar, good movie. Oh, man, Jake Sully, Avatar, good one. Right? Love the action. No, not a lot of talking, right? Like, he loves Avatar. He watched it multiple times. He even bought that shit on Blu-ray. Right? My dad never buys DVD. Right? My dad always, hey, Philly, you got some good DVD for me to look. You got some good TV for me to watch. Right? My dad never buys Avatar because he never buys DVD. This is the first DVD he ever bought. It's because he liked it so much. All right? So it's the crazy thing is you need to make this movie come out in like less than fucking 15, like less than 10 years, man. Like 5 years at most. Because people's like, oh yeah, Avatar? Oh yeah, is that still a thing? It's like 5 years is way too long. Like 3 years. Like 3 years would be really, really good. 2-3 years. 5 years at most. But man, this was like a 10-year wait?
To see it for the novelty and spectacle alone.
No, it was like a 12-year wait.
Substance is like dating a really hot girl with no personality. It gets old real fast, and once those good looks start to become familiar and mundane, there's not
take it
much
easy,
to keep
Angie.
you hanging around.
Thank you for the gifties. Thank you.
problem is that
Appreciate
what
it.
was
Thank you.
magical and awe-inspiring back in the simpler days of 2009 isn't in 2025. After more than a decade of superhero movies and Star Wars and God knows what else, audiences today are all maxed out on visual spectacle.
Yep.
If anything, I'd say they're actually kind of bored of it all now because movies have become so big and CGI so ubiquitous that we've basically reached the limits of what you can throw at the audience.
100%. 100%. Like, and that's the reason why whenever we see practical effects, whenever we see like legit, like good set designs, like for instance, Frankenstein, the Guillermo del Toro one that he made, like half of the movie, like 60% of the movie, I felt like you were there. And it was actually practical design. The whole laboratory where he creates the monster is an actual physical set. And that's another reason why a lot of people really, really like Road Fury, is because of all of the actual cars, the fire and everything. All of that was practical. So whenever like you see what you see, what you see on film is like everything, you know, it's fake. It sort of sucks, right? It's like, man, I wish we can go back. I wish it was like a half and half. And that's the reason why when people are like, oh, they're filming Legend of Zelda in New Zealand, that's really cool. But now the whole backdrop is an actual real location, right? The lighting is a lot better too. It's just everything is all now AI, CGI, slop, or whatever it is. Now, granted, some of them look really, really good, like Way of Water, but like people have seen it all.
The Avatar films still look great, don't get me wrong, but these days they're just another collection of great-looking, visually overwhelming movies in a sea of them. There's nothing especially unique about the experience now, which is why it desperately needs number 3, Heart and Soul.
Yeah,
this is
the story.
The big difference between Avatar and Cameron's earlier work.
Oh man, Terminator was so fucking good. Terminator 2, at the end of the movie, every time, still to this day, when Terminator was like, give me the chip, give me the hand, he throws into the fucking lava, right? The fucking magma, and he's like, he turns to John. He goes, like, what else do we have? And he points to his head. He's like, me. He's like, no, I order you to stay. Fuck, man, that fucking. As a kid, I felt that shit, and as an adult rewatching that movie a couple years ago, I still feel the same. I'm like, no. And he's like, man, I will never understand why humans cry. Like, fuck. And then like he goes down, and oh, fuck, man. As a kid, that fucked me up. That fucked me up, bro. Yeah, like Terminator 1 is ultimately gonna be like one of my favorite movies, but T2 was so like T1 was fucking great, but T2 took it to another level. It was so good. Like fucking speaking of fucking like James Cameron back in the day, you know that scene where they're driving down like in Huntington Beach, like on the what's it called, Pacific Coast Highway? They're driving down on the freeway and shit like that, and there's a scene where like James Cameron's like, okay, I'm gonna need the freaking stunt guys to use the helicopter to go under the bridge, and the insurance company is like, fuck no, we're not gonna do that. We don't have the money to do that. We can't insure that shit. And it's like James Cameron saying, get the fuck out of here. He pushes him out of the way. He goes, get out. And he fucking he didn't fucking say that, but he basically did that scene himself. He motherfucker piloted that fucking helicopter under the freeway pass. Fuck, what the fuck, man? You can't do that shit anymore. And that's the reason why they don't, like when he say, oh, they don't make them like they do no more. It's exactly the same. It's so fucking good, right? And that's the reason why they hired what's it called again? Arnold Schwarzenegger and stuff like that. I remember he was doing a film with James Cameron, or he was like, hey man, you know, like the Terminator, you know, like he need to like do the thing and then and it's like, yeah, and he's like, man, the Terminator, you know, when he shoot the gun, he should be like blinking and stuff like that because he's a Terminator, right? And then because like, you know, because the robots do not have, you know, like he doesn't, they're not sense of danger. And he's like, why don't you play the Terminator? He's like, oh, me. And he's like, and then that's how he became a Terminator, right? And so when they hired the next guy to play the Terminator, he plays a T-1000, same thing. Freaking Robert Patrick needed to know how to shoot a Beretta 92 FS without blinking, right? Without blinking. So that scene where he was shooting in the hallway, like that was a like actual live gunfire. He needed to shoot without having to blink. Like that's like legit like dedication. And that's the reason why when we see like stuff that's really crazy 3D and stuff like that, we Bitch, we've seen all of this before.
A lack of substance. Movies like Terminator or Aliens aren't remembered today because of their amazing visual effects. I mean, they definitely look good and they hold up well even today, but all of that stuff is secondary to their real appeal, which was their
True
excellent
Lies is
stories,
so
their
good too.
compelling characters, their superbly constructed action sequences, their unique concepts, and most importantly, the core of humanity that
See, right
drove
there,
them forward.
that scene-
What would aliens be? What would aliens? And most importantly,
This scene,
core of humanity.
I was putting myself into like John Connor's foot, right? It's like this person, it's not, he's like a father figure. He was also a very good friend. And you're watching your friend just fucking slowly sink into the lava. Man, what a fucking masterpiece, man.
That drove them forwards. What would aliens be without Ripley's desperate mission to rescue
get away from her, you
alien
bitch!
queen? What would
So
Terminator
good.
2 be without a damaged Sarah's awkward attempts to reconcile with her son, or John's paternal relationship with the T-800s? Shit, man, even the Abyss had an estranged husband trying to reconnect with his ex-wife. This, I think, is what's really missing from the Avatar movies, an emotional core that everything else is built around. It's not to say that they don't try to give you something. The first Avatar is really just a story about two people from
The second one is a lot better. The second one is way better. If you have a family, you have kids, you have a daughter and a son and stuff like that. That movie hit me very hard. Right? I'm like literally like my son at that time, he was like 3 months old. And we watched this movie. I'm like, holy shit. Like me and my wife were like, fuck, like it's literally a movie about family. It's great. It's great. Like, but if you don't have kids, this movie is just another Avatar movie for you.
vastly different cultures falling in love.
Now, I'm not saying that you have to have kids to sort of empathize or understand the story or to connect with the story or to like the movie. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that if you did have kids, you'll like the movie even more.
In the middle of an epic conflict. The second movie is about those same people trying to hold a family together in the middle of another epic conflict. Not exactly groundbreaking stuff, but whatever. The difference is that they, and the characters that make them up, feel like they were injected later into a story that had already formed, instead of being the emotional core that everything else was built around. The result? They come across as obligatory rather than unique, like some mandatory checkbox that had to be ticked to justify everything else that happens in the movie. And as for the characters themselves, well, they're not exactly gripping individuals. I don't feel much of anything.
They all sort of look alike. Right? Look, they all sort of look alike, all right? Like, you can call me racist or speciest or whatever, but they sort of all look the same. Right? You can't really pick them apart, right? Like, other than the main characters, like the one who actually had talking parts, you can sort of see a little bit different, right? Just based off of the headdress they're wearing or the color of and stuff like that, and or just the style of their hair. It's like, other than that, like their faces look sort of the same. Yeah, it's sort of like Dragon Ball Z, right? You remove Goku's hair and you put in an eye, he's Tien Shinhan. You remove the eye and you put in Vegeta's hair, it's Vegeta. They sort of all just look the same.
For Jake and Neytiri, because when you get right down to it, they're just not particularly interesting people. Neytiri's the stereotypical noble savage with a vaguely sympathetic attitude towards the protagonist, and that's it really. Jake is just a stock soldier guy who starts to question his loyalties when he gets a taste of that blue ass.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Once he plugged his tree into her like other tentacle tree, like he's like, I'm gonna put my ponytail right up your ponytail. Oh yeah, tell me how that feels. Like, oh man, yo, screw the humans, man. I like me some tree sex.
He doesn't have much in the way of personality, drives, charisma, unique strengths or weaknesses. And well, he's not helped by a pretty anemic performance from Sam Worthington. There's a reason that guy's career failed to launch 15 years ago, and it's not for lack of opportunities, trust me. Add all these problems together, and the characters at the core of Avatar are really just stock archetypes built to service the plot. Their relationship lacks any weight because the audience can't get all that invested in them, and so there's no drama or urgency to the story, because for the most part, nobody really cares whether they live or die. It all comes back to that spectacle over substance problem that I mentioned earlier. For all the work and technical skill that went into them, the Avatar movies lack the one thing that made so many of Cameron's other movies so memorable: an emotional core. That's why nobody remembers them or talks about them after they've left the theaters, because
It's like I said, it's the same thing with what James Cameron is doing right now with Avatar. It's what Michael Bay has been doing with fucking Transformers. You go there, you're not there to watch story and development. You're there to watch stuff explode. You go to Fast and Furious not to fucking watch fucking Dom talk about family. You're not there to watch fucking what's the kind of fucking Ludacris talk shit to fucking Tyrese. You're there to watch them race and do heist shit. All right, they know what they are, and those are just basically just popcorn action flicks that makes a lot of money. Okay, Transformers makes a lot of money. Fast and Furious makes a lot of money. But here's the thing. Those movies do not take 10 years to 12 years to make. Jurassic Park and Jurassic World as well. Yeah, exactly. You go and watch fucking dinosaurs tear shit up, right? You're not going there to watch a fucking, Chinese person or Japanese person's like, oh, the dinosaur. Oh, no, you don't. You go there to watch dinosaur fuck shit up, okay? But like I said, those movies takes like 3 years to produce. Those years takes like 3 years to make. Why does this movie take 12 years to make? That's it. You're taking like 12 years, 15 years to make a movie that's like, yeah, I've seen very, very good animation and fucking in video games and shit, man. It's like, yeah, the graphics are great. This is a very, very cool cutscene that's like 3 hours. If I'm not going to see any like Avatar titties, and then, what the fuck?
Like that hot girl with zero personality, once the immediate visual impact starts to fade, you realize there's not a whole lot left to say. I mean, maybe none of it matters, really. I'm sure Avatar 3 is going to put another couple of billion in the bank for Disney, so who cares? It's all just junk food at the end of the day. Anyway, That's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Yeah. Another good video. Yeah, I agree with everything he said. It's not a you're watching a James Cameron movie. You're watching an Avatar movie. There's a link, chat. Go ahead and give it a like. You're watching an Avatar movie for the spectacle. You're watching the Avatar movie for the graphics, for the visuals, for how stunning it looks, how cool this alien planet is. But the story itself, the writing itself it's very mediocre. It's something that you've already seen. Someone already did it better somewhere else. It's all the same garbage. Now, am I gonna watch this movie? Yeah, I will. Am I gonna watch it in theaters though? I'm not sure. I might. If I am, this time I will watch it in the biggest IMAX screen that I can. That's not too far from my house, okay? Because I know the biggest IMAX screen probably closest to me in like the legit IMAX one probably will be in LA. Like I don't want to go all the way to LA to watch an Avatar movie. So I'll probably just drive, fucking 30 minutes to go watch. I might watch it in 4DXXX. I'm not sure if I will. But yeah, I'm not going to go into a James Cameron movie. It's like, wow, that story was so good. I really empathize with the characters. I really understood what Jake Sully was talking about now, man. He's such a complicated character. No, I'm never going to say that shit, right? Now, if I'm going into watching a James Cameron movie, like I will watch his old shit. But in terms of new shit, like a Christopher Nolan, right? Like I recently just watched Interstellar, and you guys can go watch the video that the Asian Dad reviews on my channel. But like Interstellar, character development, the acting and stuff like that, it's all great. It's all fantastic, right? This one, you're just going there, oh yeah, cool alien blue man groups, fucking talking about fucking freedom and shit like that. Like it's like, yeah, sure, it is what it is, right? But yeah, I am gonna watch it. We'll see though. I haven't seen the trailer. Basically, what I've seen is basically if Drinker showed anything. But yeah, we'll see though. I am still gonna watch it, but it is like gonna be like a 3 hour or something movie, so I probably have to like masturbate before I go in.